What's up, y'all?
What's up, guys?
How we doing tonight? We are officially live. We've been behind the scenes for a minute, though. What do y'all know about that shit? What do y'all know about the sex offender fucking moving in next door? Y'all don't know shit.
Welcome.
On that note, I ain't trying to get us fucked up on YouTube for saying that. I shouldn't have said that. But what's up, guys? Give us a share, please. Welcome to Behind the Grind 47. Y'all see our fucking guest sitting below us right now. Before we introduce the man himself, I'm going to play our little commercial for y'all. If we could please get a share, if you don't mind. I know we live on Facebook and YouTube right now. If you guys don't mind popping some buttons, we're going to get into our interview here in a minute. What's up, guys? Here we go. That's low-key fire, right? That video?
Hell yeah.
I still need to make up.
It's low-key fire. All right, now we got 20 plus heads in here. We can get rocking. Let's do it. Welcome to Behind the Grind, volume 47. I am your host, Trip B. This is my co-host.
I'm Johnny Concepts.
And down below us, we got the motherfucking man himself, Gibby Stites. Gibby, what's good?
What up, y'all? Gibby Stites, the notorious G.I.B., a.k.a. Gibbzilla, a.k.a. the Invader Gib, a.k.a. Hello Gibby, a.k.a. I'm just happy to be here, y'all.
Yo, he's got the best like aliases. That's fucking dope.
Do this.
I agree.
Like, do you come up with those on the spot, or do you just like?
Honestly, they're all merch designs. Everything I just named is a different merch design mashup I've done. The Invader Gib, Hello Gibby, and Gibbzilla, all that shit. Right. Night of the Gibby Dead.
I was just gonna say that. Yeah. What about Return of the Gibby Dead?
Return of the Gibby Dead was last year. This year, we got a new one coming. We'll talk about it.
All right, cool. Let's do that. Yeah, guys, if you don't know Gibby for his dope ass merchandise, you're gonna get to know the man himself a little bit better tonight. That's for damn sure. I do have a couple of grind mode Cypher verses of Gibby's in case you haven't caught him on the grind mode Cypher. We're gonna drop those for you in a few minutes. I also have a video that Gibby dropped as a solo artist. Obviously, it's called Reaper. He just dropped this 2 weeks ago. So we're gonna run that up for you guys as well. But let's get into it, man. What's up, guys? I see a couple people in here. Let me give some shout outs real quick. Actually, Darrell, what's good? Hoods Woods, what's good? Psych Child, what's good? 3XG, what's good? Vendetta, I think I already said. Logan Threat, what's good? Facebook user, join up to StreamYard so we can see your name. What's good? Carrot Cakes, what's good? Darrell, Maximus, A-OK, my boy. All right, now that that's over with, Gibby, man, hip hop, the thing we all know and love so much that brought us here tonight, as a matter of fact. Now, was this something that you grew up listening to, or was this something that came along later in life that you gravitated towards?
Man, rap music was there like my entire, as far as back as my memory goes, because I was born in 95. So my earliest memories were like, 2000, 2001-ish, something like that. And it's like, I remember even the shows I watched on Nickelodeon shit, like hip hop was all over the mainstream media at that point. And it's like, I remember all that. You had TLC doing the intro. I remember watching Keenan and Kel, and you got Coolio doing the intro. And my mom, I grew up living with my mom for like pretty much my entire childhood. Like a few years I wasn't, but she had a very vast variety of music played in the house. Like she listened to everything from like psychedelic rock to, like Pink Floyd, Grateful Dead, to the modern day rap that was coming out, so the first rap I remember hearing was between my mom and my cousin Nikki, who used to babysit me. My cousin Nikki was like all hip hop. Like when I couldn't wait for Nikki to babysit me because it was Biggie, Nelly, Lil Bow Wow was out at the time, and I'm a little kid, so I kind of want to be like him in a sense, you know what I mean? But hip hop, like first in my life, I just remember it always being there, and I remember it always being my favorite kind of music, the one that I gravitated towards the most. Like I never really had a problem with other music being played, and I enjoy certain bands and songs, but hip hop was just always the thing ever since I was a kid. And I really think my cousin Nikki plays the biggest part in that, because she was my person for my first so many years of life. My mom worked 2 jobs. She babysat me with all of her friends and shit. And I remember her and her friends singing Biggie tracks to me, and they would replace his name with Gibby. Gibby, 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 can't you see? So I don't know, man. I just always feel like hip hop was there, and it always seemed fun because at the time I was growing up, like rap music was very fucking fun.
Yeah. That gets lost in the mainstream's eyes and the stuff that they like to push forward these days. is that hip hop does come from a place of love and peace. Although, you know, the battle scene has always been there, but when we battle each other, it was never supposed to lead to blows and fucking, you know, shootouts and shit. So it was always just a form of art and competition rather. So you know what I'm saying? So shit like that. It's dope, man. It's dope. I like the Gibby. That dope. That reminds me of some shit from my childhood as well. But this isn't my show, so this is your
trippy. Hold up.
Yeah, facts, that works today. Now my sister, Madonna Vogue. Madonna Vogue. My sister somehow led me to believe that she was saying Bo, which is my government. So Bo, and I was like, it tripped me out. I was just a little kid, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's wild. Like,
I
I got
heard
a whole song about it.
you know some lyrics you hear what you want to hear.
Absolutely.
Like
especially as a child, man. Like, you know, the Nelly song Country Grammar. I thought that shit was about a bowl of Cocoa Puffs as a kid. I thought he was saying shimmy, shimmy, Cocoa Puff. I got like 5 years older. That shit's about a drive-by shooting. That's fucking crazy. He's slick with it. Like, I'll give him that.
That's wild. I love Cocoa Puffs. Shout out Cocoa Puffs.
Shout out to Cocoa Puffs. Shout out to Nelly.
Big facts. So you always were listening to hip hop and stuff. I assume you just mentioned some of your influences. Who were some of your other influences while you were a kid coming up listening to hip hop besides Bow Wow and Biggie and the names you just mentioned, if there are any more of those?
Like, the biggest shit when I was a kid was G Unit and Shady Aftermath. Like, hands down, when I was in first grade, Get Rich or Die Trying dropped. And that was the first album I remember buying with my own money. Matter of fact, it was 3 albums in one day, and it was some birthday money that I had. And I got Linkin Park Hybrid Theory because my brother was with me, and he's my older brother, and he's like, you gotta get this one. Fine. And that was again another album that like really shaped who I became. Get Rich or Die Trying, and Eminem Encore had just came out. I wanted Eminem's show. My brother convinced me to get Encore because it just came out that week. It was the new one. I was familiar with Eminem's show because Mom had that CD. You know what I mean? He's like, don't buy the CD, Mom. God, get your own CD. So
that was a horrible decision. It's a horrible decision.
Growing up, now that I'm older, I can absolutely agree because them first 3 Eminem albums, Slim Shady LP, Marshall Mathers, and Eminem Show, and the Lose Yourself, the 8 Mile soundtrack, like those really shaped a lot of my wanting to rap as a kid for sure. Because 8 Mile came out when I'm like 7 years old, and I was allowed to watch it. I didn't have one of them childhoods where I was really held back from seeing anything I wanted to see or listening to anything I wanted to listen to. I think, you know, my parents, aside from being wrapped up in their own shit, they kind of knew me and my brother were mature enough mentally to not repeat the things we're saying at school and yada, yada. So the biggest influences as a kid, like 8, 9 years old, when I'm starting to want to rap, is hands down got to be like Biggie, Redman, and Method Man, because How High was like the coolest movie at the time. Ice Cube, because Friday again was the cool. I wanted to be Ice Cube, but I didn't even know he rapped yet. I didn't even know Ice Cube rapped until Next Friday came out, and they had the music video with Trina at the end. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But it was all mainstream artists at first, you know, and like M and 50 were definitely the two that made me want to do it the most, because Get Rich or Die Trying was the first CD I listened to front to back, like not skipping a skit, not skipping an intro, outro, nothing. And the thing with 50 at that time was like when I was 9, 10 years old, my dad was selling drugs and shit very heavily. And he didn't hide these things from me because he wanted me to know what was going on so I don't see some shit and go repeat it somewhere else. You know what I mean? So the other kids my age in the clubs on the radio and they like that, I got the CD and I'm really listening to everything 50 saying, and the shit he's saying is going on in my household. You know what I mean? But then when I listen to Eminem, around the time of Eminem's show, this is where he starts, in my opinion, getting more personal about shit. And he's talking about the trailer parks and all this. 8 Mile's coming out. I'm living in a trailer park. I was some white trash kid. You know what I mean? So I'd say that Shady Aftermath shit was like the biggest influence of like them early years for me, for sure.
So dope, man. Yeah, that Meth and Red, you struck a chord with the Meth and Red with the fucking I bumped that Blackout shit. And
bro, so Blackout, one of my favorite, like to this day, one of the greatest hip hop albums, in my opinion, to ever come from a duo. Like,
oh yeah, for sure. It's a top 20 hip hop album, period. I would think top 25 maybe. All right, before we get further into the interview, Gibby, let me go ahead and play this this verse of yours from Grind Mode Cypher, Electric Haze, Volume 1, Choppers Edition. We're gonna do that. All right. So, gentlemen, if you could mute your mics for me, so the audio is good quality as it can be. Let's get into it.
that. So the medicine is what found life. The planet dead in the mall, sick in the head with no sedative, y'all. The road has been helly, the load has been heavy. I feel like I'm pitching a medicine ball. Still I go far, no, still I go hard like a broke car alarm. Y'all never go off. My rhymes Viagra, they never go soft. Is a medical pill from the split then I call. Gibby, idiot, crime with affiliate, feeling like Gilligan. You better get skipped again. Rhyme steady killing them. Grind all the time for my chips on a million and then do the shit again. This, that, get that, flip that flow. Click, clap, whoa, yo, get that hoe. Extra competition, out of flip that. Oh, 2 more in a row. That's tic tac toe. Independence when I'm rapping, get the stepping, bitch. I'm vexed. I ain't living on the net. Sick of all the disrespect. And impressed with your toys and your itty bitty checks. Bitch, I wreck competition. It'll give you chin and chat. Feel like 9-5, just a swinging lick with saws. I bring the flame and extinguish yours. When the NCs came in the door to live out the name and perform, I was right in the front with a mic and a bluff and a fight for the right. Take a hype and just bust. Give you Stites, get it right. Take it light and you just might get invited to bite the dust. Bitch, I'm Liu Kang with a bicycle kick to the chin. Make him spin and it might make him sick. No 9 on my hip. I can write with a fist. Illville worldwide. 8, 5 to the 6, little bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Whose hands were those? That's what I want to know.
Hey, that verse was fire, and I feel bad for whoever just crashed after that verse. That's what that sounded like. It sounded like a car crash.
Yo, much love to Lingo for that motherfucking beat too. I could not snap how I do if the beat wasn't as hard as it is, man. Shout out to Lingo.
Yeah,
Big facts, man.
He went in on that.
Go ahead, Johnny. My bad.
No, I was just saying he definitely went in on that. Lingo definitely went in on the beat as well. So I'd like that.
Y'all see the view count?
Oh yeah, that thing's like close to 100, I believe.
Oh yeah, that joint's sitting at 83.
Sheesh.
That joint's sitting at 83K. Guys, go run this one up. This one's Grind Mode Cypher Electric Haze Volume 1 Choppers. It's produced by the man himself, Lingo. This just dropped going up on a year ago come December. So less than a year old. Let's push this up to 100, guys. It deserves it. I obviously only played Gibby's verse, but every artist on here killed it.
Absolutely. Shout out to Vendetta in the comments. That motherfucker killed it. I believe he was the anchor on that one. I believe.
Yes, he was. Yep. Appreciate you, my guy. Forget me. You bodied this. Yeah, this is.
I will not forget you. I will never forget you, Vendetta.
Yeah, Vendetta's a real one, man. Yeah, so that joint's fire. Guys, what did you think of the verse? I seen some fire emojis and shit. It's pretty dope. Appreciate that. John, you got a question for Gib?
Yeah, so I kind of want to know a little bit more now that we've gotten your background of like how hip hop came into your life. Let's talk about how you started making music and writing and what your writing style is and what it was like growing up from where you're from in the hip hop scene. Hell
yeah. So me starting making music, it's like I wanted to rap when I'm like 6, 7, 8 years old because, again, it's all over the media. I was always just enamored by the way that a rapper put together words. I was always I enjoyed other music, but the rap shit was what I wanted to do. It seemed like an otherworldly talent to me at the time. It seemed like a magic trick these dudes were doing with their words. You know what I'm saying? And I still feel that way when I meet certain cats, especially in grind mode. But with that said, when I'm about 10 years old, I lived with my dad for 1 year. Out of my childhood. My pops, he did a lot of prison time in my childhood, and this ain't me putting him on blast or no, you know what I'm saying? It ain't no, I love my dad, I love my mom, but they're both very open about their past and the things they've done and how that made them become the people they are today. You know what I'm saying? So I had 1 year where I lived with my pops as a kid, and he had a girlfriend at the time named Stacy. My stepbrothers at the time, her sons, they're older than me. They're like 16, 17. I'm 10 years old. Aaron and Ricky were their names, and they used to rap. These motherfuckers used to sit in the bedroom. We all shared a bedroom, and I would come home from school, and they'd be sitting in the room with the Xbox, the original Xbox, and they had beats on there. I'm talking like Nuck If You Bug, Jesus Walks, Still DRE, shit that was popping at that time period. And I would sit there and rap with them. Like, I would literally battle these motherfuckers, and I would get tore up, and I'd sit there and I'd wait for sometimes we would just cypher. Sometimes we would be battling, you know what I mean? But it was always all love because we're literal brothers who live together. And I remember one day, this is what started me writing, was I never wrote up until this point. I would see rappers, and I thought every rapper freestyled because nobody's teaching you how to rap, you know what I'm saying? I just thought you do this off the top. So one day, my brother Ricky, stepbrother Ricky, he drops this piece of paper. I picked it up. I'm looking at this piece of paper, and it's got rhymes written on it. And after each rhyme, he had each rhyme written in a line with a little line after it. And I found out later those were bars. You know what I mean? He had 16 bars on this paper. So when I talked to him, what the fuck is this? Yeah, what do you mean? He was like, I write my raps while I'm on the bus all day or while I'm at school or whatever. I'm writing the raps. So when I come home, I demolish y'all. And I'm like, this motherfucker's been writing the whole time. So shout out to my stepbrother Ricky for getting me writing, to be real. You know what I mean? And then from that moment on, my childhood was crazy. You know, like Pops wound up, crib got raided. My dad got sentenced to like 8 years in prison. And at that time, my mom's was having a little bout with addiction, which she wound up getting over. She's 14 years clean and sober today, works in the addiction field. You know what I mean? But at that time, for about 2-3 years there, I was bouncing around, going to pretty much whoever wanted to let me live with them. You know what I mean? Friends of the family, most times not family members, sometimes just people that Dyfus would hook me up with, you know what I mean? But between the ages of 10, 11, 12, I'm moving around. Sometimes I'm switching school 4 or 5 years. I moved from New Jersey to Tennessee, back to New Jersey. I lived in all kind of environments, but the only consistent thing in my life was that I wanted to rap and I wanted to make music. And I never looked at my childhood like bad things were happening to me. I always looked at it like I was given all this alone time and all these emotions. So I had shit. So I had time to practice what I want to do and things to write about and talk about. This is how I would cope as a child. You know what I mean? I would be like, I don't remember ever really getting sad when crazy shit happened because I'd be like, this was supposed to happen so I can have my career in the future. And I always kind of used rap as a crutch. I didn't realize at the time, but I was using it as a crutch to tell myself things were okay. You know what I mean? Right. But I'm happy I did that because I grinded out my whole fucking childhood. You know what I mean? Even in school from 5th, 6th, 7th grade, I sat on the bleachers writing raps while motherfuckers played. You know what I'm saying? Like I was always that kid. At the same time, every school I went to, I was always very outgoing. I was always like, the class clown, you know what I mean? It takes me a few days to get into it. And then once I get comfortable in the new school, I never had a hard time making friends like that. So once I started rapping, that became my thing to like gain friends and get attention. Because at this time in like 08, 09, everybody didn't want to rap. All the kids in my school, nobody else wanted to rap. Nobody wanted to do this. So when I'd be at the lunch table, like, yo, bro, check this out. And I start spitting some shit and I'm 12 years old. It would get a reaction. So I remember I've been working on my public rapping skills since I was 12, 13, 14 at the lunch table. Right. Then by the time I get to high school, we're in the 2010s and it's like technology is there. I moved back in with my mom when I was like 2013. I mean, when I was 13, this was like when I was 2013. So when I'm like 13 years old, 09, moved back in with my mom. She got her shit all together. You know what I mean? She's been doing good ever since. But we were broke as fuck. It's like 09, 2010, and you know, kids got laptops and iPods, and I still got my Walkman CD player. I was trying to record my raps on a cassette. Like literally, I remember 2009 trying to go to my neighbor with a cassette tape. Like, yo, bro, you check me out? And he was like, what the fuck is this? I can't listen. I don't have nothing to listen to this on. So I started recording when I was 14. I read the book Behind the Paint by Violent J, the ICP autobiography. And this shit inspired me. And all the rappers before ICP made me want to rap and made me want to rap the way I do. ICP, Violent J, and his book made me want to pursue it. And it made me want to be an independent artist. It made me want to press flyers, book studio time. He detailed all of their struggles in the book. And a lot of people, I can't say a lot of people don't know, but they don't get the props that they should in the sense of Psychopathic was some real hip hop shit in the early 90s. Like they were one of them labels like a Cash Money or a No Limit before a Cash Money, No Limit. Maybe they didn't get to that level that those labels did per se, but these dudes were pushing hundreds of thousands of records independently in Detroit in 93, 94, 95. I'm reading this book in 2009. So it's like the motivation it's giving me is great, but all the pointers I'm taking from this book are old. You know what I'm saying? I remember going in the yellow pages and trying to call to book studio time. And some dude flat out told me, he's like, yo, kid, go get a fucking laptop. And that changed everything for me. Literally, like I remember me and my mom got this big old gray dinosaur desktop computer that used to be my grandma's. I downloaded FL Studio on that bitch. I downloaded Cakewalk on that bitch. I recorded my first songs in the summer between 8th and 9th grade. And I was making my own beats back then. And just like the music was garbage. It was hot garbage. But I'll say one thing. In 8th grade, I released an album and it was on Spotify, iTunes, all that shit. I had my own website. I had flyers and merchandise. Like, even though the music quality wasn't good, I should have took some years to work on that first. Right. My fucking ambition was there, bro. Like 8th, 9th grade, like I was the kid in school. And then right after that, everybody got into home recording and shit changed.
You just hit the ground running with it, is what you did.
Precisely. And my bad if I went on for a while there, but I've done a lot of interviews where certain things I just said I skip over, and I just want to make sure while I was going and the memory was fresh, I hit these points chronologically. You know what I mean?
I got you, baby. It
was great. That was great information. Not a lot of people, not a lot of people know how to market themselves.
Yeah.
That's probably like marketing and networking is probably one of the hardest parts. Like being a rapper is easy after a while. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But being this person is what's important.
100%. This is something that also came to my mind as Vendetta asked it in the chat too. This is probably why your merch game is so strong, because you were inspired so heavily by the Violent J book.
Absolutely, and just Psychopathic Records, Strange Music, these labels in general. I remember before, like my stepbrother Aaron is the one who showed me ICP when I'm like 10, 11 years old. So many things spawned in that one house in that 1 year I lived with my stepbrothers, you know what I mean? And one of those things was he showed me ICP, he showed me Tech Nine, Twisted, Isham, all these dudes of the Juggalo rap scene, if you want to call it. And it's like the one thing about ICP that I remember was like their shit was in the mall, bro. Like as soon as I found out what the Hatchet Man was, I was like, oh, that shit's in everything. That shit's in Spencer's. It's on shot glasses. You know what I mean? Like the Psychopathic merch game has been fucking crazy ever since as far back as I can remember. So yeah, I remember ICP being the first artist, them, Twisted, the other people on Psychopathic, who really made it fun, in my opinion, to collect the things they were releasing. It wasn't just about the bars on the song. Sometimes it wasn't about the bars. A lot of times it wasn't about the bars on the song at all. It was about like this dope ass new CD that comes with a huge booklet and all that. You got to decrypt this thing in the booklet to unlock some shit online. You know what I mean? Like they were always ahead of their game. Ahead of the game in general with all that shit. And even to this day, I like the underground holds it down on the merch tip in a way that like nowadays the mainstream starting to do their thing with the merch because they have to, because CDs aren't selling like they used to. So now you see all the big rappers, every time a mainstream artist drops a single, they got a vinyl release for the one fucking single song, and they got a vintage t-shirt design, you know what I mean? And what would that say?
For $99.99, you can have this vintage fucking t-shirt. It has just the name of the artist on it with no graphic, no nothing.
Only 100,000 in existence.
All individually numbered. 7 of 7 million. You made 7 million? Damn.
Somebody lost a hand signing these. It's okay.
Facts. All right, man. Yeah, cool. That's dope. We do have rapid fire coming up. My question to you guys is, do I play the second verse now or after that? Because we're gonna play the Reaper joint from Gibby as well, guys.
I'm whatever you want to do. I am in your land, and I'm just happy to be here.
No, we in Gibbyville tonight. Johnny, what do you think? Oh, Illville.
Welcome to Illville.
Let's let the people in the chat decide. What do you guys?
What do y'all say? People, should they play that shit? That's what I say on my podcast. I ask the people if they should play that shit. So
yeah, Cypher verse or song. What do you guys want to hear?
Play that shit.
Starchild says play that shit.
I see.
Which one? Give us options. Well, we gave you options. Y'all choose.
All right, so we got 2 for play that shit, 1 more for play that shit, then we're gonna play that shit.
We're gonna play y'all Reaper or Grimo verse. We're gonna play both at some point. So
shout out to Hood Woods.
Cypher. IB says Cypher. We got 2 play that shit and Cypher. So I want to hear Gibby sing show tunes. Oh, that's hilarious. I wish I could see the name.
Again, man, Facebook user, please sign up.
Yeah,
I might just do it if you sign up.
For about $13 a month, we can see your name on here. No, I'm just playing.
Sign up for my Patreon where I sing show tunes.
Exactly. All right, guys, it's Mike Z. Word. All right, guys, we're gonna play the Cypher verse then, and we'll get into Reaper after rapid fire. Let's get into this verse, guys, and we'll hit Gibby with some more questions.
So they voted for the song, and then you play the Cypher?
No, he said Cypher. They didn't vote for the song. It was 3.
Somebody says 3 for Cypher.
Yeah, 3 for
Cypher. Was it 3 for Cypher?
I see song. I see everything.
Where did you see song?
I do see song. I ain't gonna lie. Maximus 1.
Oh yeah, song, Darrell song. Yeah, okay.
I see 2 for song, but I see 3 for Cypher. So do your thing.
Well, we're playing them both anyway. All right, let's
Cypher then. Cypher.
Let's play fucking Cypher, and we'll stick to the Gibby solo after rapid fire, so that y'all guys stick around. How about that, bitch? All right, let's do that. It's marketing for you, huh? Stick around to the end so you can hear Gibby's newest release video, fucking Reaper.
Yeah.
You like that? Fucking awesome. All right, guys. Mute your mics for me, please, so we can get the best quality out of this joint right here. All right, guys. Right now we're gonna play Gibby Stites verse from Grimo Cypher, Soda City, Volume 5, produced by Felix Nines, who's a beast as well. This one dropped September last year, sitting at 35K. Let's get into it.
And I'm hungry, I'm famished. In grind mode, I'm getting it. Keep it shining on them like I flash the hobbies on them. Pulling hoes in the hoopty while you lying like you ride a foreign. 5 in the morning, I'm adoring. Pick such baby mama for it. Let me see some action, homie. Yapping about that drama's born. Let him sip the Kool-Aid. Gibby got a lot to pour him. I'ma travel back in time just to pay for your mind's abortion. Smoking till my mind's distorted. Holds the door, but I'm recording. Rigor mortis is a side effect of trying to start a war. It's G out to the beat. The family, we mobbing deep. Always wreaking havoc. We're the prodigy and RIP. Safe to say we making fatal plays, slaying lames in 80 ways. Today's the day I made it to put me in this bitch with A-OK. Had to be a tragedy when I'm walking up in the room. Been rocking sets with Frankie, beat up our bodies in the lagoon. For real, chill, get dragged back to Illville with his no son. One shot, kill, still like I'm James Bond with a gold gun.
Oh, that beat was nice.
Real tough. That beat, son. Top.
I was like some G Unit Beg for Mercy type shit.
That beat has got to be top 3 in all Grimo beats that I've rapped on. I've done 10 ciphers so far. Not flexing, because I know people out there did 187. A-OK, I'm looking at you.
I like how like in the first 4 it was like nice and like smooth, and then when that like on that 5th bar, right when that shit comes in, that shit was
big ups to. I remember having a conversation with Frankie V on the way to that cipher. Because I was pointing out, I was like, you ever notice how great lingo is at really composing the beats around what we're saying? I was like, you ever notice when you got something like a really great bar, he will drop it out right there? Or maybe if your beginning bar happens to rhyme with the end of someone else's, and you know we don't hear each other's shit in advance, you can tell he gives a fuck and he listens to everybody's shit and really composes these ciphers. It's not just thrown together. And I remember really recognizing that when I got that cipher back, and I was like, man, he's the fucking guy. That the way he made it drop when I said certain things, I felt like it gave me more power than I really had in the moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like one thing about producing is that like listening to a song, it's a ride. Like it's almost like it's an experience. So it's supposed to like kind of like reading a book where you reach the climax and then it comes back down. So it's supposed to be like that. And Lingo's amazing at doing that. So.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, I've always noticed that too. It's something that that's why the MC and the producer or producer and engineer and MC are so, it's like the holy trinity, bro. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You got to have the MC, you got to have the producer, and you got to have the engineer. Sometimes one man can be all 3 of those things. Sometimes
absolutely. And now in this day and age, you also got to have the visual dude as well. You know what I mean? You got to have the photographer, camera guy, editing. You know what I mean?
Yes. If you're trying to really compete and do the independent thing for real, you really have to have everything we just told you guys on your team, because to outsource for that shit, you know, to consistently put out material and constantly outsource that stuff is just way too expensive. And none of us are pulling in fucking 6 figures a year. So you need to find these people, man. That's why networking, that's why Grimo Cypher is a huge fucking platform for this type of shit, guys. So, you know, I know it's like I'm preaching to the choir because all you guys know, but I know there's going to be 1,000 or so people watching this that don't know, and y'all need to get involved if you can. When Grimo's coming through your city, fucking make sure you're following us on the socials. Make sure you're linking up, because I didn't know Gibby fucking 2 years ago. That's my boy now. I fucking was in his music video. How about
that? We ate food at the diner right down the road from my house together. Come on. I had a chicken cheesesteak at 3 in the morning.
What was it? 5 minutes from, how far from your house? 15 minutes.
Yeah, it was probably like 10 minutes from the Cypher shoot, 10 minutes from my crib. You know what I mean?
Right, I forgot about that.
Yeah, it was right in the middle of my crib and the Cypher shoot. We was in Vineland, Cumberland County. That's all the back of my hand right there.
Big facts. All right, so now you've put out. I got to ask you about the Grimo Cypher. We got into, you know, how you started writing raps and shit like that. Who some of your influences were early on, and as you came up. We're gonna get into rapid fire in a minute, but I'm gonna drop this question first. So, you know, keep it concise if you can. How did you find Grimo Cypher? How did it come across your eyeballs? And what was your process like getting involved with the movement? And did it meet expectations?
I've been waiting for this moment. I feel excited to talk about this. So it's like, notice I took the sip of water. All right, so I found grind mode from Frankie V, the Team Rocket Set boys, hands down. I was opening a show for Esham in Trenton, New Jersey, which was where I went to high school at. And Frankie V, Team Rocket Set, were also opening that show. This was my second time meeting Rocket Set. We also opened for Boondocks, who signed to Magic Ninja Entertainment, the label I wound up signing with label. So we opened for Boondocks together. 3 weeks later, I'm opening for Esham. I'm like, these are my dudes. We just did 2 shows together. Frankie V walks up to my merch booth wearing a grind mode shirt, and it struck me as very familiar. Like, as soon as I saw it and read it, it's like, if I don't know what this is, I should know what the fuck it is. Like, it just, something about it immediately hit me. And I was like, yo, what is that? It didn't say grind mode Cypher. Sure, it said grind mode affiliates. So I'm like, this could be anything. You know what I mean? I thought it was a label. I was like, yo, what's grind mode affiliates? Is that your label? He was like, nah, it's a Cypher platform. I've done like 20. I think at the time he had done 20 or 30 something ciphers. He's past 50 now, I believe. Shout out to Frankie V. But Frankie sat there, told me about grind mode at the show, and I literally went on YouTube on my phone at the show and subscribed to grind mode. Took a screenshot so I wouldn't forget later. Did the show, get home, wake up the next day. First thing I fucking did. Because I was at that point in my career where I had just started doing shows and live appearances and really leaving my state. So as soon as I found grind mode, I got hyped because I was like, how can I be involved with this? They're everywhere. They're all over the East Coast, and I can get anywhere on the East Coast that they would just let me. So first thing I did, go to YouTube, grind mode Cypher. The first Cypher I saw is still one of my favorites to this day. It was the Third Eye Open Chopper Cypher with Lingo, AOK, Scars, Don Pera, fucking Extra Overdose. I found Extra Overdose from that Cypher, became a fan of his, wound up doing a track with him. As soon as I saw that Cypher, first thing I thought was grind mode Cypher Frankie V, because that's that's my homie. I watched like 10 Frankie V ciphers, this motherfucker, like just, and that's when I really like, oh man, I was falling in love, and the whole time I'm watching these ciphers, I'm just like, how can I be involved? I went on grind mode Cypher website, nothing about submissions on there. I go on Facebook. And then I start realizing that they make these posts, you know what I mean, when they're going to go somewhere. Right. Sure enough, a few days after I started following grind mode on Facebook, Lingo made a post. We're going to be in Bedford, Massachusetts. 6 hours from me. I didn't look up how far it was. I submitted the song. Wow. And long story short, I found grind mode in June of 2019, and I filmed my first cypher 2 months later. Like by August, I was filming my first cypher. By September, I was doing my second one. November, I did my third. I've only done 10, but I want to be real. That's mainly because of how the COVID shit hit us right when I found grind mode. I found y'all in 2019. I did one COVID 16, but everybody was trying to get in on them COVID 16s. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I didn't get to get in on that series. That was a cool thing that Lingo had thought of and shit. I wanted to be a part of that too, but it's all good.
That was one of the first times I really I had high respect for grind mode at this point, had high respect for Lingo, but when he announced the COVID 16 series, that's one of the first times I realized just how ahead of everybody else Lingo and grind mode in general really is with every fucking thing. Because it's like something had to be done. Something had to be done. Naturally, I'm thinking there's going to be no grind mode for a year or two. Hell no, he wasn't having that. Lingo's like, we got all the resources. Motherfuckers have cell phones with HD cameras nowadays, and obviously, everybody in the pandemic started doing something like that, some kind of live stream. But I really feel like the grind mode platform was kicking that shit off. Like,
so it's safe to say that your impression of grind mode Cypher and your first experience with grind mode Cypher, it met expectations, if not exceeded expectations.
Absolutely. First grind mode Cypher I went to, this is fucked up actually. The first Cypher I went to, there was a mosquito virus being spread. There was like this warning that popped up on our phone. As I'm driving, Lingo messages the chat and he says, yo, just want to let y'all know about the mosquitoes. And when I read that, me and my cousin were like, bitch, we grew up in the trailer park. You think we don't got mosquitoes where we're from? And when we pulled up, something told me to Google these mosquitoes. I was like, why is he telling me about mosquitoes? I Googled New Bedford. First thing that popped up was like, local man dies after being stung by mosquito. This mosquito... Like, there were mosquitoes passing on some kind of virus that came from another country. I looked it up on a past live stream, so I'm not going to do it now. I've already proved myself. This is a real thing other affiliates can contest to. They were doing aerial sprayings of the city when I arrived, like helicopters.
I remember this.
children were not allowed outside after 6 p.m. I felt like I was in a fucking Batman movie, bro. So like me and my cousin pulled up to New Bedford, not knowing nobody. We sat in the car until it was time for the event to start because we're fucking worried about mosquitoes and shit. But after that, we got out. As soon as I got to like where we were filming the Cypher and shit, first person I met was Chemic. And Chemic's a dope ass artist, dope ass MC. Shout out to the homie, real hospitable because I wasn't from that area and I didn't know exactly where I was. I met Cap SZA at that Cypher, who is one of my favorite affiliates of all times and a homie of mine. Yeah, my first Cypher experience was very welcoming. My second Cypher experience was it was a time of building confidence. Like my second Cypher experience, Lingo pulled me aside and really like just had this little talk for me where I didn't think he thought anything of me. You know what I mean? He deals with 100 artists a day. And he pulled me aside at one point at 656 Fest. And he was like, yo, kid, I just want to say, like, you got something. You know what I mean? Like, I fuck with you, this, that, and the third. Whatever he said it. And coming from him meant the fucking world to me. You know what I mean? So, yeah, my first Grimo Cypher definitely met expectations, but it was weird because I didn't get to mingle as much as I wanted to because of the weird circumstances in the area.
Yeah, the skeeters.
Yeah, the skeeters out there trying to skeet on us. You know what I mean?
Hey, man. You know how they be, man. You know how them skeeties be, man. Guys, I just, in the meantime, I just was, I don't know if you guys could see me on screen that whole time, could you? Or did I pop off?
Oh,
I saw you the whole time.
You saw me the whole time because in that time I was Googling man dies mosquitoes and there's a whole bunch. So it's even more common than you guys would think, even more so than just the story. I feel like I was just reading articles from Australia and shit. Yo, that shit's wild, man. I ain't going outside no more. I'll be here until the end of the day.
I remember the fucking spraying and shit. They had, like there was curfews, like we had to go back inside and shit.
Yeah, it was wild. Johnny, are you ready for fucking rapid fire?
Does that answer your question?
That answers my fucking question. Welcome to Rapid Fire, brought to you by Brawlers Inc. Clothing. Shout out to Legend Joe Brawler. We got the homie Gibby Stites with us tonight. Y'all might be familiar with Rapid Fire. We're gonna ask a series of one-word questions. What else, Johnny?
Oh, when only one-word answers. You don't need to describe it.
Yeah.
Let's just keep it moving. 2-minute time limit. Let's put 2 minutes on the clock.
2 minutes are up on the clock. Johnny, please have your first question ready.
All right.
And let's go.
Netflix or Hulu?
Hulu.
Speeding ticket or parking ticket?
Parking ticket.
Snapbacks or fitteds?
Fitteds if it fits my head.
Comedy or action?
Comedy.
Pool or bowling?
Pool.
Vacation or staycation?
Staycation.
Best rap album ever?
Fucking Life After Death.
City or country?
City.
Death by mosquitoes or by fire?
Mosquitoes.
Cooking or being cooked for?
Cooking.
What would your murder weapon be?
It's fork.
Sweating or shivering?
Shivering.
Apple or Windows?
Windows.
Nas or Jay-Z?
Nas.
Windows or doors?
Doors.
Let's see. Premier Beats or Dr. Dre Beats?
Dre.
Kanye West as a rapper or as a producer?
Fuck. Producer.
Hot coffee or ice?
Iced.
Favorite Eminem song?
Woo! Marshall Mathers.
Favorite Eminem album?
Woo! The Marshall Mathers LP.
Twisted or ICP?
Woo! ICP for the long run.
Your favorite project you've released up to this point?
Remote Control.
Favorite rapper you've opened for?
Shaggy Too Dope.
Nice. Very nice.
That last one was that. Yeah, that last one was hard because I'm fine. I opened for him most recently, And I was front stage watching him rock, and then I got on stage while he was doing his last song. So I think like that whole experience, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I didn't give y'all an explanation for none of them. I'm explaining the last one. Okay?
Yeah. No, that's fine. Nah, man, that sounds dope as fuck. I love being able to hop on stage when the touring act comes through. That's like it's fucking dope. Just being able to soak in that fucking energy and taking that with you as an artist, man. It's like
absolutely. And also like when you see an artist live who you've been listening to your entire life for like, you know, since I was 12 years old, and they get up there and they don't miss a fucking beat and they're doing tracks from the 90s, the 2000s, and like, you know what I mean? I'll give that. Shaggy gave me that experience at Lethal Weekend recently of having one of your childhood favorites and one of them dudes you view as a living legend get on stage and just do the goddamn thing. You know what I mean?
That's dope.
Because I've had other of my favorite rappers disappoint the shit out of me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Been there.
No names.
Been there before.
Hey, never meet your heroes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, man. That's another podcast, you know?
Yeah. It's called Never Meet Your Fucking Heroes. It's literally it. So we got into the grind mode stuff. We got into your past. We got into some of your influences. Shit like that. Johnny, where you want to go next?
Do we have time for fan questions? I know we're running a little late.
Yeah, we're running a little late, but we're still cool. Guys, I saw a couple of questions in here. If you have any questions for Gibby, please drop them now, and we're going to ask them. I'm trying to scroll up right now and looking for some questions because I did see some up here. Like Maximus had a question. It's rather lengthy, but let me get this to you. Who did you go back and listen to from your previous generation, from the 80s or 90s, if you did, Gibby? Who had the biggest influence on you? That wasn't necessarily mainstream. I didn't catch that part, but maybe mainstream or not.
That wasn't necessarily mainstream for sure. Isham, right, dropped his first album in 1989. This man was 14 years old. He produced every song on that album. He engineered, he mixed the entire album. There were no guest features on the album. I found this CD called Booming Words from Hell. That was Isham's first release. I found this when I was like 14, and I would say that was probably like the most inspirational as far as I started making my own beats. I started recording, mixing, mastering my shit for a while. Like Isham was definitely, now I've done a lot of research, and there's still a lot of research I got to do. That's the thing that I love the most about hip hop. As the years went on, there were still albums from the 90s and the 80s and the early 2000s that I haven't had a chance to explore yet. And one day I'm going to get to crack open those classics front to back. You know what I mean? Now, if it's not a difference between mainstream or underground, the list can go on. Cause it's like, I remember first finding Criminal Minded, the first Boogie Down Productions album. Like that really did a lot for me as a kid. Cause, and yeah, like, goddamn, 90s rap is what influenced me the most. I'm really trying to think of shit from the 80s for his questions. You know what I mean? Because 90s rap is the shit that influenced me the most. Like I said, the Redmans, Muddy Waters, Blackout, even fucking Wu-Tang, 36 Chambers, and yeah. But on the underground tip, 80s, 90s underground tip, Isham definitely is like my biggest inspiration and the one dude I'm happy that I did my research on for sure.
I have to say, Wu-Tang Enter the 36 Chambers for sure underground album. Wu-Tang Forever, not so much. But Wu-Tang Enter the 36 Chambers, I mean, goddamn, we heard them fucking having arguments in the background while people are rapping and shit. Like, so dope and wild.
Yeah, and now that I'm older and I've got to learn the story about RZA being Prince Rakeem and the Jizza and how his first deal went, I went back to 36 Chambers around this time last year, and I connect with it now on a level that I never did before because, like, I feel like I can really feel the pain and what RZA was going through and what he was trying to prove, in the sense of like I was put out in this light and exposed to a mass amount of people not being who I truly am in a way that other people painted me out to be, and now they're trying to tell me I don't got my shot no more. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what RZA was faced with. Motherfuckers telling him, all right, you fucking flopped, you're done. You know what I mean? And he's over here like, you didn't even drop my shit. You didn't even drop my music. You dropped what you made me make. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah. So,
exactly.
My bad. I got a little passionate at it.
Yeah,
passionate.
No, it's the way of the record industry, bro.
Yep.
You know, even like the Beatles, I don't think their first album was really shit that they wanted to make until they got the creative freedom. It's just like anything, man. When you're being held with a lot of money, when people are investing a lot of money in you, they kind of want to push you in a certain direction. It's just like these athletes and fucking and shit like that. These guys are all getting, you know, sponsorships or whatever. You know, people getting paid to promote certain things or even say certain things or whatever. I went off just there. I don't even know. I just had a brain fart, so excuse me.
That's what we're here for.
You know what I'm saying? Smell, take a whiff. I pulled up I Be Bumpin's question because I liked it. I know a lot of MCs try to record their own shit in house, and some of them may not feel completely comfortable with what they're hearing back. When and did you get comfortable with your music production?
I'll be entirely honest with you. I am not 100% comfortable to this day with my production if I'm the one also mixing and mastering the track. I can say I became comfortable with my production when I met my homie Charlie Beans and my dude Stir Crazy. These are two producers I got in my corner who nowadays Charlie Beans mixes like pretty much all my music. So when I make a beat now, I don't got to worry about the mix of it. You know what I'm saying? It took me a long time to understand. Like naturally, most producers mix their own shit. And like usually producer and engineer do go hand in hand. But I finally had the realization that they don't have to. I made a lot of beats that I felt they went so hard, but I couldn't mix the track to come out 100% to where I was happy with it. But for example, when I produce a grind mode Cypher and Lingo mixes and masters it, and I hear my beat mixed and mastered by Lingo, it's a different experience. I'm comfortable with my production when it's being mixed and mastered by a professional. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm not comfortable with my mixing and mastering. Comfortable with the beats I make and the style I make, not comfortable with my own mixing. And that's why in this day and age, I got a team of people who help me with that. That was very important in me getting where I'm at.
Big fact, yo. Shout out to the producers and engineers, man. Without y'all, we ain't shit.
Yo, shout out to DJ Immaculate, Charlie Bean, Stir Crazy. I just got to give a shout out to my guys real quick. I wouldn't be shit without y'all. I appreciate y'all.
Big facts, man. Salute to y'all, man. Yeah, that's dope. So I got a couple of questions for you. Well, I want to ask this other one from Grandma Cypher here. Recording or performing?
Recording for sure. When I'm in the moment of performing, I would probably say, if you ask me fresh off stage, I'd probably say performing. But really, I love writing, recording. I love the studio vibes.
I love it all, baby.
Mm-hmm. Oh, see, why couldn't I be cool like you? You just trip swaggers, trip B, goddamn it.
King Virtue, what's good, my dude?
Yo, shout out to King Virtue. That's the motherfucking dude right there. Goat Squad in this bitch.
Goat Squad all day, man. Yeah, shout out to y'all. So Johnny, you want to help me out?
I think we should go to the video.
Yeah.
And play the track, and then we'll talk about what you got coming next with music. So
hell yeah.
Let's fucking go. All right, guys, you heard it from Mr. Concepts. We're gonna get into Gibby Stites Reaper video that was just dropped a couple weeks back. This was shot in New Jersey at a Grandma Cypher event. So we're gonna run this up for you guys. Let me see here. Gentlemen, please mute your microphones. And we're gonna get into it. Here we go. It's like my first time every time, huh? It's crazy. All right, guys, here we go. Gibby Stites Reaper.
Control. Now, control of a machine or apparatus from a distance by means of signals transmitted through a radio or electronic device. For example, the bomb was detonated by a remote
See them bodies drop, cop the footage on an HD.
Up the street, see the weight come, hit the beat and I speak in tongues. Sold your soul for a piece of buzz, and laughing about how cheap it was. This shit's in my blood, are you keeping up? They can never understand what it means to us. Seeing the struggle, done seen this trust. Good head on my shoulders and I keep it up. Stacking my ones, rapping the track is all done. Smacking these rappers for fun. You rapping, they laugh when you're done. You ain't rapping like pun, your rappers a pun. I'm having some fun, like eating some pussy. The cack on your tongue, I won't spit on your track, I won't match on your blunt. Got everything that I had out the mud, bitch. Don't act like we homies, don't know myself, so don't act like you know me. Showed you some love when you had nothing to show me. Y'all fuck around, tell me back to the old. Me back in the lab and I'm racking up trophies. Say that shit right if you happen to quote me. Tagging they toes, he's back, I'm like gross. You cope with the flow, you might actually owe me. What you gonna do about it? Found a beat and it's like I found a group. Found come as high as I can, find a new mountain. No dope, right poetry to move. Crowds to us down with a new sound. That 2022 style. Red rum with the room. Shouting everybody in the booth, guess who found
See them bodies drop, cop the footage on an HD. footage on an HD.
Y'all thought I was gonna run it back again, huh?
Encore.
Run it again. That shit's fire, bro.
Yo, I appreciate you, man. Shout out to Charlie Beans on the beat and the mix one time, DJ Immaculate on the master, and my homie Actamon Zoo from Poland on the video edit. He's been helping me kill shit all year. I'm very grateful for everybody I just named for helping Illville Worldwide Music really become a thing this past year.
Dope, bro.
Hey, shout out to all the motherfucking grind mode affiliates who made an appearance in that video. Lingo, thank you for letting me do that at your sanctioned event. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Big facts. And he didn't even charge you for the feature in the video.
That's what I'm saying, son. That cameo, come on.
That's at least a stack, right? It's at least a stack. Free.
Gotta be. He rubbed my shoulders at one point in the video. That's like an extra it's extra 500 right there, dog.
Damn. Oh shit. I can't believe I missed that part. Now I'm gonna have to run it back.
He did. It's my favorite part because that's the part where I felt validated in real life. I was like, I don't know what I just said, but it must have been hot.
Yeah, facts. Yeah, salute to IB bumping too, man. We see you, man. He said grind mode's top tier motivation. We appreciate that, man. Y'all motivation for us too, bro. And let's go, man. Let's fucking go. Let's all motivate each other, man. Illville
Worldwide. Shout out to Kara.
All day.
Shout out to Sarah.
I feel like this is Kara just commenting twice. I feel like this is her.
Actually, that's Sarah. That's actually that's Kara. That's Sarah. I know my people.
And we got Tara right here. What up, girl? That's funny. So, all right, Johnny, we got a couple more questions, signature questions to pop off. You want to go?
All right. So obviously you got like your independent shit going. Like you got your merch game going. Like if let's say 10 years from now you really pop off. You really got all the money to do whatever you want. What are some things that you would do to uplift your community?
Big thing is first off, like there are no rap shows in Millville where I'm from. And like, all right, let me rephrase that because I'm sure there are some homies who be doing some things, but like there really aren't like big rap events down here in Millville. There's more so in Vineland than anything. And where I currently live, Bridgeton, definitely not. So this whole Cumberland County area where I'm birthed from, I just what I would like to do this is me speaking as if I got dumb money to do whatever I want. You know what I mean? Number one, what I would like to do is give some kind of like build some kind of theater in my city of Millville that is dedicated more so to rap, punk rock music and these things, because we have a theater in Millville, but it's where comedians come to town. It's where they do plays. You don't ever catch a rap act going there. You know what I mean? We got Atlantic City and Philly, places close to us. But personally, first thing, I would like to help bring some music to Cumberland County in the sense of that. And also, this is me speaking like I got dumb money. I would love to really put a rec center in my city. You know what I mean? Like, as far as I know right now, I might be out of touch, but my whole childhood, we definitely didn't have one. We had the YMCA for a little while, but you had to have money to go there. Your parents had to have money for you to even be a part of the fucking Y. You know what I mean? So I would like to put a rec center in my area, somewhere where kids can go safely after school and just have fun, do their thing, whatever activities may take place in that kind of spot. I don't know. I wouldn't be the guy who super organized this shit. I'd be the one funding it in this scenario, hopefully. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we paying somebody to.
A-OK. Oh, shit, I owe him money now. He's making an appearance.
Yeah, that's a stack at least.
Yeah.
But stack. You know what? You're going to feel validated in real life now, so.
Hell yeah. Exactly. He's been listening.
The only thing that would have been doper is if A-OK popped up from behind you and rubbed your shoulders for a second.
That would have been like 10 stacks. I can't afford that.
Yeah, just like fucking popped in that door, kicked the door down. And
kick in the door.
Oh, man. Yo, salute, dog. I've been listening the whole entire interview. I just want to give you your props, your flowers, dog. You are a dope MC, man.
Yo, I appreciate that, dog. They skipped the part where they asked me my favorite affiliates, but you're definitely in my motherfucking top. Like, you know what I mean? You're one of them dudes. I shouted you out the first time we were in a Cypher together because I was genuinely honored. I really, from the bottom of my heart, felt like that meant I was doing a great job for Lingo to put me in a Cypher with A-OK, because you are, in my opinion, you're like the top. You're the fucking top of this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
thanks, fam. Thank you. I appreciate that.
you say things, you write things I couldn't fathom. You know what I mean? Like even coming up with that. And I'm not trying to fan out too hard, but like real talk, I don't think I do it that much when we're chilling because I'm not trying to bother you, but I want to take this time to give you your motherfucking flowers. You really are one of my favorite lyricists, not just in grind mode, but that I found in general. You're one dude who always says some shit and says it in a way that makes me rethink my steps and what I'm gonna do in the future of writing.
Hell yeah, yo, thank you, man. I appreciate that. That's dope.
Oh fuck yeah.
For real. You talk a lot better than I do.
Hey man, I got the public speaking thing. I did like a whole year of a podcast.
I do a little bit better at writing, but yo, I just wanted to ask a question. If you can talk about it, what's next for you? You got an album coming out or anything? You got
Hell yeah. All right.
What's the vision for the future?
The very next thing, because you know Halloween season is approaching, the Revenge of the Gibby Dead. This is the third part, the final of the trilogy that started with Night of the Gibby Dead, last year's Return of the Gibby Dead. This year I'm pissed off, dog. Normally every year I got followers, I got a cult who come, they dig me up and we party, and I try to throw this fucking party for the city. Motherfuckers done killed my cult. They burned everybody at the stake who supported the Gibby Dead. So now it's my revenge, man. Revenge of the Gibby Dead is dropping October 7th. It's the new single produced by Stir Crazy. This is really my one time a year to dabble into some darkness because a lot of my music is real life driven. So that's the next thing. New single, October 7th, shortly followed by a mixtape, which is not titled yet.
Word.
But if you buy the CD single, there is a CD single available for Revenge of the Gibby Dead. It comes with a bunch of cool skits and remixes that you won't find on the streaming sites. If you buy that, though, there might be a little something inside that lets you know what is to come next from Gibby Stites.
Yeah. I usually ask 2 questions, but I already know what your end game is, and you already on a good path, my dude, for real. And yo, I'm proud of you, kid. You fucking killing it, man. I just dropped a link to your personal profile up in the chat so that anyone who wants to like add this guy, do it up, man, for real. You can add him, find all that shit he's talking about. But yo, I'm gonna be out. Dope seeing you guys tonight.
Fuck yeah, yo, thank you for popping in.
Absolutely. Later, y'all.
I am salute.